Football has been the subject of several controversies, and it's a sport that attracts a lot of attention and generates a lot of money, and it's bound to have its fair share of them. Though some athletes have outstanding characteristics and may serve as role models both on and off the field, many are involved in affairs, and like when they are exposed, it's humiliating for both the footballer and those around him. Well, there are some funny incidents, as well as a naked fan running right into the football ground. But we'll talk about these incidents some other time. Jokes aside, in the world of football there have been several scandals ranging from match fixing to doping, and many sportsmen have been in the limelight for the wrong reasons. And so in today's video, here are some stories you didn't know about football players. Let's get started, shall we? Drama, I love it! Anyways. The Cassiopoli Scandal shocked international football in 2006 when it was revealed that a number of big Italian teams were involved in influencing the appointment of referees for their games. Among other charges, Juventus, who had won the championship in 2005 and 6, were stripped of their titles and demoted to Series B, where they remained for one season before promptly returning to their top division. Despite the fact that Juventus was severely penalized for their involvement, AC Milan and a few other teams consider themselves fortunate to have not suffered the same fate. They were like those students in the class who make some noises and then blame the other students in front of the teacher. So, this incident had a significant influence on Italian international football, and since then, extra measures have been implemented into the sport. Juventus has not won a single league title since they were cheating, and has not been in the same power in recent seasons. However, they have proven that they can be strong title contenders this season under the tenacious Antonio Conte. Famous footballers, their hot wives, and their love affairs is still a better love story than Twilight. For example, when it was found out that John Terry was still having an affair with wife Vanessa Peroncel, Wayne Bridge, a Manchester City defender, expressed his displeasure on social media. After previously playing together for Chelsea and England, Bridge and Terry had become good friends before the incident occurred. In hindsight, Bridge's response was fairly reasonable, and he even refused to represent England if he had to compete against Terry on the field. Since the allegations of an affair with Terry became public, he refused to shake Terry's hand throughout the games against Chelsea in which he had appeared. Given that the Chelsea defender had already been stripped of his captaincy by the Fabio Capello prior to the World Cup and had to cope with a storm of criticism, the episode was particularly painful for him. After the German Footballer Federation accused him of manipulating a cup game featuring Hamburg, Germany referee Robert Heusser was investigated. He originally rejected the accusation, but then admitted responsibility and vowed to help fully with the inquiry. He gave 2 penalties against Hamburg and also sent off a Hamburg player in a DFB-investigated game between Hamburg and Paderborn. He later claimed that the accusations that have been raised are true, and he regrets this behavior profoundly and he apologizes. And according to the German daily Süddeutsche Zeitung, Heusser informed state prosecutors that additional officials and players were engaged in the scam. Parma midfielder Adrian Mutu was signed by Chelsea for a significant amount in August of 2003, and after a little more than a year at Stamford Bridge, he was released after being detected with cocaine in his body. Well, I think he watched too many narco-related shows on TV, not gonna lie, hee. So it led to a suspension from the club, and he was eventually let go by the organization. Mutu was forced to pay in excess of 14.6 million euros after being ejected from the Blues team under dubious circumstances. Andres Escobar, a Colombian defender, was murdered in July 1994, shortly after his side was ousted from the World Cup due to his own goal. It is commonly assumed that this was the reason for his own death. It's possible that the respected defender was targeted by drug traffickers who had lost money betting on his squad. It is evident from the above video that it was an unfortunate blunder that even the finest defenders in the game can make. And it's a shame that he was murdered. Let's hope that such occurrences do not recur in the future. As soon as it was revealed by Parliament by an MP that Ryan Giggs was the player who obtained a super injunction to prevent the public from learning without his relationship with former Big Brother star Imogen Thomas, there was an outcry. The incidents would be devastating for Giggs, who is married and has no children. And they occurred at a particularly unfortunate moment for Manchester United, given that they were only a few days out from their vital Champions League match against Barcelona. Prior to the 2011 Gold Cup, 5 Mexican players were found guilty of using performance-enhancing chemicals and were thus disqualified from participating in the tournament. Well, I guess I know they were planning to beat the world record of Usain Bolt, but they didn't know that they were going to have a football match, not a 100-meter Olympic race. So, Memo Ochoa, the team's goalkeeper, as well as striker Christian Hobbit Bermudez, forward Sinha, defender Edgar Duenes, and defender Francisco Massa Rodriguez, was found guilty of the charges. It was speculated that they've consumed contaminated meat, and it was the source of their positive test results. Even though it was a major embarrassment for the country, the efforts of Giovanni Dos Santos and Javier Hernandez enabled them to overcome the absence of banned players and win the Gold Cup. Brazil had struggled to prepare for the 2014 World Cup. It was a difficult task for them to meet the deadline with a fully operational tournament infrastructure in place. Many serious charges of corruption had been leveled against the Brazilian government, and as a result of the scandal, as many as 6 Brazilian ministers had resigned from their positions. The people of the country had been coping with corruption concerns for a very long time, which has compelled the government and the president to take a firm stance against it. As a result, we saw this big scandal as Brazil was not fully prepared to host a World Cup. And although the World Cup was finally arranged, I think we need to have another footballer as the president of Brazil if fans want to see another World Cup there. And now we are seeing yet again another love or sexual affair. And I don't have to remind you that it is still a better love story than Twilight. According to the rumors, Wayne Rooney had a tough time after admitting to having his sexual relations with a female escort, while his wife Colleen Rooney was expecting their first child. It was a subject of several media reports, and it was yet another blow for Manchester United striker following a disappointing World Cup performance. Aside from losing his form for a few months following a protracted contract dispute with Manchester United, the striker also struggled to find fresh employment with the Red Devils. Frank Ribery, Karim Benzema, and Sidney Govou were reportedly involved in a sex scandal involving young prostitute Zahia Dehar, which led to their expulsion from the country entirely. Despite the fact that Ribery and others claimed that they were not aware of her age at the time of the event, she was accused of having sexual relations with all 3 footballers, and she was under the age of 18. She reported that they were all very friendly to her, and they expressed surprise that they might be charged with the crime at some point in the future. And so guys, here we've reached the end of the video. I do hope you all enjoyed watching, and if you loved it, don't forget to tell me that you loved it. Write me a 10-paragraph essay with my name at the top. You don't know my name. Anyways, where are you guys going without hitting the little subscribe button? Come on, it gives me so much inspiration to keep talking at you. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And maybe watch our other videos too if you're bored. See you guys in the next one.